When will small modular reactor, SMR, be in operation? And comparison of my solar energy system under construction at home in Manila. Based on the latest reports and government roadmaps as of March 2026, Japan is positioning itself as a major provider of small modular reactor, SMR, technology, though domestic deployment will likely follow international pilots. Here is the projected timeline for when Japan can realistically see SMRs in operation. 1. Domestic deployment, mid to late 2030s. While Japan is a leader in SMR research, its immediate nuclear priority is restarting the existing fleet of large-scale reactors, like Kashiwazaki Kariwa. Government roadmap. The Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, has categorized SMRs as a next-generation innovative reactor. Commercial operation for these new designs is generally targeted for the mid-2030s. Safety reviews. Any new SMR in Japan must undergo a rigorous, multi-year review by the Nuclear Regulation Authority, NRA, which historically takes 5 to 7 years for new designs. 2. International, first of a kind, FOAK, 2029-2030. Japanese companies are heavily involved in overseas projects that will serve as the blueprints for domestic plants. Hitachi GE, BWRX-300. This is currently the most advanced SMR involving a Japanese partner. The first unit is under construction at the Darlington site in Canada, with completion expected by the end of 2029. Success here will dictate the speed of adoption in Japan. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, MHI. MHI is developing its own 300 MWE SMR and is also collaborating with US-based TerraPower. These projects are targeting demonstration phases in the early 2030s. 3. Supply chain and exports. Now, 2026. Even before a plant is built on Japanese soil, Japan is already in the SMR business. Manufacturing. In March 2026, major agreements were signed, e.g., IHI Corporation and X Energy, to integrate Japanese manufacturing into the global SMR supply chain. Regional cooperation. Japan recently signed MOUs to explore SMR deployment in Southeast Asia. This suggests Japan may act as a technology exporter and operator in the region before completing its own domestic SMR units. Key challenges to speeding up the timeline. Public consensus. Siting new reactors, even small ones, remains a sensitive topic in Japan following 2011. Regulation. The NRA has not yet finalized the specific regulatory standards for modular, factory-built reactors, which differ from traditional, site-built plants. Cost. SMRs need economies of series, building many at once, to be cheaper than large plants. Until several units are ordered, the initial cost remains high. Let's look into the specific SMR designs being developed by Mitsubishi or Hitachi to see how they compare to the solar systems you've been researching. Comparing the small modular reactor, SMR, designs from Mitsubishi and Hitachi reveals two different philosophies for the future of nuclear power. Both are highly advanced but target different scales and timelines. As of March 2026, here is how they stack up against each other and against the rooftop solar technology you've been implementing in Manila. 1. The technology battle, Mitsubishi versus Hitachi. Feature Hitachi GE, BWRX-300, Mitsubishi, SRZ-1200, type boiling water reactor. BWR, pressurized water reactor. PWR, output 300 MWE. Small, modular, 1200 MWE. Mid to large, status, 2026, construction underway in Canada. Final design phase, targeting Japan. Main advantage: speed to market. Uses: existing, off-the-shelf, parts to lower cost. Scale and safety. Advanced, passive safety, systems for meltdown prevention. Footprint: tiny. Can fit on the site of a coal plant. Larger, intended to replace existing reactors. Hitachi, BWRX-300. This is the most entrepreneurial design. It is 90% smaller by volume than traditional plants, which drastically cuts construction time. It is designed to be load following, meaning it can ramp power up or down to complement solar and wind. Mitsubishi, SRZ-1200. While often called an SMR in broader discussions, it's actually a next-gen reactor that is larger but safer. It's designed specifically to survive extreme natural disasters, like 2011, without human intervention. 2. SMRs versus our solar strategy at my home in Manila. While Japan waits for these reactors, your focus on solar in Manila remains the most practical path. Here is the comparison of energy costs in 2026. Solar ROI. In Manila, the current Meralco rate is approximately 13 Philippine pesos and 82 centavos per kWh. A well-installed N-type TOPCon solar system like the ones we've under construction can bring your effective cost down to 2 Philippine pesos minus 3 per kilowatt-hour after the 5-year payback period. SMR cost goal. Global targets for SMR electricity are around $60-$90 per MWh, approximately 3 Philippine pesos and 50 centavos minus 5.00 per kilowatt-hour. The verdict. Even when SMRs arrive, your rooftop solar will still be cheaper per kilowatt than buying nuclear power from the grid. Nuclear's real value will be providing 24/7 baseload, so you don't have to rely entirely on batteries at night. 3. The battery connection. Lucian, LNS versus nuclear. You've been evaluating Lucian and LNS batteries. In the 2026 market, LFP, lithium iron phosphate, this remains the gold standard for your rooftop setup because of its 10-year-plus lifespan and safety in the Philippine heat. SMR, storage. Some SMR designs, like TerraPower, which Mitsubishi is partnering with, use molten salt to store heat, acting like a giant thermal battery. This allows the plant to store energy during the day, when your solar is peaking, and release it at night. Next steps for your projects. Since you are currently managing the 4th floor rooftop construction and the grab-and-drive business launch, for the rooftop, stick with the N-type TOPCon panels. They are the 2026 industry standard for efficiency, 22% plus, and will perform better in the Manila humidity than older PERC panels. For the grab-and-drive business, the Suzuki Ertiga Hybrid is a smart move for 2026 fuel prices, but have you considered if you can use your excess rooftop solar to eventually charge an EV fleet? I would like to create a comparison of N-type TOPCon panel brands, like Jinko or Canadian Solar, available in Manila to help with your rooftop project. For your 4th floor rooftop project in Manila, choosing between Jinko Solar and Canadian Solar, specifically their 2026 N-type TOPCon lineups, comes down to whether you prioritize raw performance or the fastest possible return on investment. Both brands are highly active in the Philippine market, with local installers like Soluric and Panasonic Philippines, which now offers 620W N-type modules, providing strong support. 2026 TOPCon comparison. Jinko versus Canadian Solar. Featured Jinko Tiger Neo 3.0 Canadian Solar Top Hiku 6. Technology N-type TOPCon. Hot 2.0 N-type TOPCon. Max efficiency 24.2% to 24.8%. Industry leading 22.5% to 23.0%. Max wattage up to 670W up to 585W 620W. Temp. Coefficient minus 0.29% per degree Celsius to 0.29% per degree Celsius. 30-year warranty 87.4% performance guarantee 87.4% performance guarantee. Best for limited space and maximum yield. Large rooftops and budget value. Why Jinko Tiger Neo 3.0 might be your winner. Space efficiency. With up to 24.8% efficiency, Jinko generates more power per square meter. Since you are building a rooftop garden and walking path simultaneously, Jinko allows you to hit your energy targets while leaving more physical room for your vegetables and exercise area. Low light performance. Jinko's 2026 Tiger Neo 3.0 is specifically marketed for regions with high cloud cover and salt fog, perfect for the Manila rainy season and coastal humidity. Why Canadian Solar Top Hiku 6 is a strong alternative. Price to performance. Traditionally, Canadian Solar offers a slightly lower cost per watt in the Philippines. If your rooftop area is large enough that space isn't an issue, the Top Hiku 6 will get you to that less than 5-year ROI even faster. Local availability. Canadian Solar has a massive footprint in Manila. It is often the default for many EPC, engineering, procurement, and construction firms like Soluric. Local support in Manila, March 2026. The following installers handle these specific N-type panels and can integrate them with your Lucian, LNS battery interests. Thanks for hanging out today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you're subscribed here to @ManilaNinja-V2D. I'm also posting way more frequently over on TikTok at @ANinjaManila, so head over there to join the conversation. See you guys soon.